Guys, today I want to tell you about our misfortune. It all happened on Monday night. After just 2 hours, Team Stradivari Original's garage no longer exists. You know, this wasn't just your dream garage. It was our own dream garage as well. This was the place where world-class project cars used to be built. This was the place where top-level show cars were built. This place gave birth to a bunch of incredible builds, which were very difficult to prepare anywhere else. And right here, in just 2 short hours, all of our dreams were destroyed by a fire. I read your comments asking what's with the garage, and whether it's possible to restore everything. When this video is over, I'm pretty sure you won't be asking that question anymore. Our garage is completely destroyed. Not only did the fire destroy certain project cars we were preparing for the next season, it also ruined all of our tools and everything else. It's all been turned to ash. What are we going to do now? We don't know for sure. I've seen a few questions about what started the fire in the first place, and that's a tough call. The experts are working on it. I just want to ask you to refrain from a holy war in the comments section. I've already seen some mean comments where people were actually gloating over what happened to us. But bear in mind that a fire can affect anybody. So before posting a negative comment, just think about it. What if this happened to you? It's a good thing that nobody was hurt or killed, nobody was burned. Thankfully, nobody was harmed in the fire. Even our cat lived through the whole thing. Let's talk about the scale. Behind me is what's left of the armored car we were building. We've been working on it throughout the course of the entire winter. It got up to 183 decibels, which would have been the second or third best result in the entire world. You can see it all for yourselves. Let's do a walk around. Here we have 2 16-volt lithium battery packs, which have burned to the core. There's still some voltage in there, like 6 or 8 volts. Let me show you. Still 9 volts. When we opened the armored car, we were hoping that the subwoofers were still intact. The diffusers on that side look okay. But then we saw the back end of the enclosure and realized that the plywood had caught fire. Which means the competition-grade neodymium motors have to go into the bin. The fire reached an extremely high temperature. Even the bulletproof glass started breaking apart. First it melted, then it just fell apart. The temperatures were probably in excess of 1,000 degrees Celsius. The subwoofers are still in there. I'll show them to you in a bit. I don't know whether they're ruined or not, but judging by everything else we have in here, pretty much everything is ruined. These shelves in our garage are not only where we stored spare parts, nuts and bolts. We also had a bunch of alternators here, which were meant to be installed into a few cars. We also used to have a ton of wires. You can see them right here. Now it's just copper. The insulation is melted and the cables are finished. Everything in here is destroyed. We're in the process of doing a walk around, but I don't know. What are you feeling, Artem? What am I feeling? I don't feel anything, I guess. When we first saw all of this in the morning, after that fateful night, I still find it really tough to believe that a fire can do so much damage. Take a look at the roof. It's completely deformed. Those huge I-beams up there, which support the roof itself, they're pretty horribly bent. You can only imagine what it was like in here. Look at what the temperature has done here. This used to be a sound pressure sensor. And this used to be our armored car. The tires have also disintegrated. The whole thing was burned to the core. This door was bolted down, but it was still bleeding on the other side. At first we thought the subwoofers survived. They do give you that impression initially. But if we take a look from in here, it was so hot on the outside that the plywood caught fire. And here we have the neodymium subwoofer motors. Neodymium subwoofers. Like I said, given the temperature, they're all demagnetized now, so they've lost their properties. Here we can see the aftermath of a wildfire. We stored competition-grade amps in this corner. Here we have what's left of this AE12K. We had about 10 of these over here. We also had 37-800s, 70-800s, about 40 amplifiers in total, and about 6,700 ampere lithium cells. And it's all gone. The temperature was so extreme that all of the wiring we had in the garage, and we had about a kilometer's worth of it. Here you can see some wiring extensions that we used in our competition cars. We had a bunch of different lengths. We actually have some more on that brick wall over there. But it's all gone. This car was supposed to be up and running this year, just like every other project car we had in the garage. But that's never going to happen now. They've all gone to ashes. While we were in the process of building the car, I did show you what it was supposed to look like. As you can see, it all looks pretty gruesome at this point. I don't even know what to say here. Just seeing all of this gives me heartache. Look at all of this equipment. And that's not even mentioning the project cars. Here we have some 12 kilowatt amps. 1, 2, 3, DB12s, 4. Here we have number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This one's a Doomsday. 10, also a Doomsday. 11, another Doomsday. One more amplifier. It's an Apocalypse. Here we have another one. Another Doomsday. Another 37-800. What a nightmare. This is pretty awful. Another amp. Here we have another charred amplifier. Oh my god. There's probably some more equipment in that pile. Let me move away so that you can see just how much equipment was destroyed. This was all stuff from our project cars. We're looking at a few dozen high-power amps. Look at what's happened to them. I'm at a complete loss for words. As for the car, it looks really bad. The cage. And as for the car itself, the rims have melted. I already told you about the temperature. Take a look at the rear wheel. And here we have the front wheel. It's completely destroyed. Let's have another look at the amps. Look at that. This is so painful. So much destruction in such a tight spot. All of those charred amps. Here we have a 12 kilowatt GR. I suggest we open it up and see what's going on in there. It's obviously completely wrecked. Such a shame. Now the Doomsday. Well, what's left of it. The 37800. Just so that you don't ask whether this can be repaired or not. See for yourselves. A bunch of unique special tools were destroyed, which were fine-tuned for working on certain projects, and which fit our specific needs. As for the total losses, we might share that at some point once we figure it out, but we're talking about a fortune. A lot of effort and man-hours have gone into building these cars. Here you see what's left of the speakers which were supposed to go into the Dodge. It looks like only the DB480 amps made it. The Titan it also looks fine. Plus a couple of lithium packs. Let's have a closer look. These tools are toast. This is all very much beyond repair. These used to be our trophies. Some more tools. These are tweeters, which should have been put to use in our build. Speaker. Here we have an amp. This one might be functional. Let's have a look. It's a 2500. Nope. Nope. We had some speakers up here. Some old NMs. Here we have an MTU. They're all ruined. This box might contain something that works. This tweeter looks okay. As for the rest, no comments. These boxes also might have something that's intact. Another 2500 amp. Right. I found some Arnolds which have made it. At least some of the lithium is intact. And the Titanate, I've already checked. They're showing me 2.2 volts, which is okay. These amps might be in working condition, but the ones on the top shelf have taken too much heat. Moving along, what else have we got? Here everything is destroyed. No survivors. Nobody's home. Nobody's home. An amplifier. Nope. They're all gone. Check this out. These wheels look okay. At least they can be restored. These were meant to be fitted to the Dodge. Some lithium over here. A couple of more surviving wheels. And some wires. Only some of the cables hanging on this wall made it unscathed. Plus we still have the old engine from the armored van. It had a 2JZ motor in the engine bay, which was also destroyed. Our Dodge Project car, which was 70% ready, has also burned to the ground. I'm about to show you what we had in mind for the next season. This thing was packing 6 21-inch subwoofers. I'm going to show you what happened to the car, but bear in mind that the temperature was so high that the baskets themselves had just melted. All that was left to do was put everything together. It was pretty much all done. The casing, each and every podium. We just had to throw in some rear speakers and the subwoofers, and that's it. But it all burned down, and the car is totaled. Every project car we had in here was completely destroyed on that night. This used to be a 90 ampere battery cell. This is painful. As for the cabin, if you can even call it a cabin, there used to be some airbrush work here. At least I got the door open. And here's what's left of the casing. It's all been reduced to ashes. And here we have some top-of-the-line 21-inch subwoofers. Just look at what the heat has done to them. The motor has melted. The temperature was in excess of 1,000 degrees. Here we have a coil. And this one is stuck. You can't even get it out. This one is also stuck. This one is retrievable. One coil. Subwoofer cap. It's all disintegrating. And look at what happened to this side of the glass. This is some bulletproof glass, which is 2 centimeters thick. Inside the chamber, all of this was on fire. There's nothing in here to salvage. Another cap. And the motor. I'm totally speechless. We're filming all of this. That night when the fire was just starting to spread, we tried to keep it in one place. We tried to save what we could while we still had the chance. But the fire, it was raging within just 5 minutes. We weren't able to carry anything out. We only had time to push the Subaru outside. We weren't able to push these cars out, though. The Dodge didn't have its front wheels on. We already thought about yanking it out, but there just wasn't enough time. Everything was on fire within just 5 minutes. In 2 hours, everything was destroyed. This garage gave birth to plenty of records, as well as a bunch of everyday builds. It brought you guys plenty of positive emotions, and us as well. We'll try to restore everything by the year 2020, and we will produce some new project cars. But that's gonna have to wait until next year. This year is gonna be all about sorting out that mess behind us.